Number 14, Texas Tech gave number 7, Houston, all they could handle down in H-Town, but the Red Raiders, unfortunately, will head back to the LBK with their first Big 12 conference loss of the year after losing 69-65. In today's video, we'll discuss why there was encouraging signs for the Red Raiders and how Jalen Petty is a bona fide freshman star and how if Texas Tech can get healthy, that may be the key for the Red Raiders to unlocking all this potential. Let's discuss. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Red and Black Report. Appreciate y'all tuning in to today's game recap video for your Texas Tech men's basketball team. If you want to stay in the know on Texas Tech men's basketball all year long, whether it's happening on the hardwood, whether it's going to be in the portal later on, high school recruiting, whatever it may be, we've got you covered right here on the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube in the Red and Black Report. All right, let's just jump right into the stats here. You see the Texas Tech stats on your screen. The Red Raiders lose 69-65. In full transparency here, I'm recording this the day after because I wanted to get my thoughts together to make sure that I felt the same way I did after the game the next morning, trying to give myself a little processing time here. And I feel the same exact way I did after the game this morning. So there you go. You look at the leading scorer for the Red Raiders. It is Jalen Petty. He is a bona fide star as a freshman. Okay, this freshman class in college basketball is loaded, to say the least, and Jalen Petty is one of the great ones. There's no doubt about that. He shined on a national stage here, going 5 for 9 from 3, and really, in the first half, was the main reason Texas Tech was in this game, alongside a 5-minute stretch to begin the game for Donovan Atwell, who I thought played pretty damn well in this one as well. JT Toppin took over in the second half like JT Toppin does. Ho-hum, another 18 and 11. The interesting one in this game is that of Christian Anderson. And the reason being is this. I actually thought if you watch the game, there were a couple of careless turnovers. One I can think of late in the game where he just simply dribbled it out of bounds and it was frustrating as hell, right? But the way that Houston attacked him is going to be good for him later on because I think you're going to see teams really start to double him, specifically in the pick and roll. And Texas Tech loves to run that short roll pick and roll, whether it's with DeLon Watts or whether it's with JT Toppin, most notably JT Toppin, and he does that short little floater or the spin move to get to his left, right in the lane. But Christian Anderson, his numbers are not good shooting this game. They're not. 3 of 11, 1 of 5 from 3. He had 3 turnovers as well. He played all 40 minutes, and I think fatigue really got to him in this one. And you have to give credit to Houston because, like, playing Houston is difficult enough when you only play 32 minutes. But when you play an extra 8 minutes and they're doubling you on every pick and roll ball action and blitzing you nonstop, you're going to make mistakes. And I thought Christian Anderson, in terms of outside of the turnovers that were, some of them were a little careless, I thought he actually played phenomenal in this game outside of the shooting. He made every correct decision, it felt like, passing the ball in this game and put Texas Tech in the proper position to succeed. I know some people are upset at LaJuan Watts. I get it. Missed a couple of bunnies. Maybe that's the game changer there. But at the same time, like, the process was right for Texas Tech. And I think you have to give credit to Houston because they created a ton of situations where you could tell Texas Tech was uncomfortable. But that being said, I thought Texas Tech handled a lot of those uncomfortable situations right. The shot just didn't fall. Right. And that's going to happen against a team like Houston because you were going a million miles a minute. You have to make split-second decisions. And sometimes those split-second decisions just aren't going to work out in your way. And that's what makes Houston so great on the defensive side of the on the field or court, excuse me, in the sense that they are just so long. I mean, Tugler is go Gadget arms. I think that they made Inspector Gadget knowing that Tugler was going to be a basketball player at Houston. His arms just go forever, it seems like, and he is the best defender in all of college basketball. And to have him blitz you with Sharp up there on the pick and roll ball actions, I thought Texas Tech handled them pretty well. Really, the thing that stood out to me was the turnovers, okay? Texas Tech had 14 turnovers in this game. Let's go ahead and get everyone in terms of, well, just Houston on the screen as well. They only had 6. And when you go look at how many points off turnovers Houston had, it was 13. That was the difference, I think, in this game, especially late. You gave Kingston Fleming, a star freshman. We talked about Jalen Petty being a star freshman. Kingston Fleming's a bona fide star. He had 23 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. He was sensational in this basketball game and made a couple of shots late in this game, most notably one at the top of the key where Grant McCaslin in the post-game presser said that's on him. He messed up in terms of the defensive scheme there. He's got to be better, and you could tell that one shot really got Kingston going, and then he made the dagger late over a highly contested shot. Jalen Petty was right there. I mean, it looked like he almost tipped it. He just barely missed it, but credit to Kingston Fleming for knocking down a 25-plus foot three to basically seal the deal, and that's exactly how it ended out in Houston. It is funny, though. Christian Anderson did have that late three at the end of the game. It was 69-62. He flung up a half-court heave, and Texas Tech technically covered in this game, although that doesn't really matter. That being said, I do want to talk about the encouraging signs for Texas Tech, because in this game is the type of game that benefits you long-term. You play Houston in basically 2.5 weeks now. Again, you're going to be prepared for them. It's going to be out in the 806. That being said, I think you're going to see a lot more teams blitz Christian Anderson, and that is going to be a lot easier said than done in terms of opposing teams now, because there's not many teams in the Big 12 or just America in general that can throw a blitz look at you in the pick and roll like Houston can. And what do I mean a blitz look? That means where you just see a guy just steamroll. He doesn't care about the screen. He just goes straight to the ball handler, and it's just a double. And you have to fight your way through if you're Christian Anderson. I thought he did so at a very high level against Houston. And you saw him get the ball to JT Toppin or, Lawan Watts. And Texas Tech made the right decision 9 times out of 10, but they didn't execute on that decision all the time. And that's going to happen, right? So I'm not too mad. I think there's encouraging signs here. This Texas Tech team has turned a corner since the Duke game, okay? They really have. And you think about not having anybody in the front court outside of JT Toppin, Luke Bamboye, and Mario Lekuntak sound like they could potentially be back soon, according to Grant McCaslin. Josiah Mosley's further away, according to the head man. But once Texas Tech just gets some depth in the front court, it's really just this for me. I don't think Mario Lekuntak or Luke Bamboye, is going to be a savior. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. It's going to allow you to have guys actually sit on the bench, right? Like that Texas Tech, let's just go look. Let's just go look at this real quick for you guys. Look at this. Christian Anderson played 40 minutes. Donovan Atwell played 39. JT Toppin played 38. Like, you had 3 guys play 38 plus minutes in this game. The fatigue factor set in, especially playing a team like Houston that is so physical. So, in my opinion, there are a lot more positives than negatives from this game. I know a lot of people were frustrated in terms of some of the missed bunnies, most notably from Lawan Watts. I thought he made the correct decision. He's just got to execute, and I promise you, he will later on. He's too talented not to. This Texas Tech team is really good. It felt like it was a Final Four game down in H-Town. It really did. Hats off to credit, most notably Kingston Fleming late, just making some crazy shots as a true freshman there late in that game. But I think this is going to be a game that helps propel Texas Tech to yet another level in the Big 12, and they will look to get back on track later this weekend. Will the Red Raiders, as they will head back to the 806, right? And let me get the stats back on the screen for you real quick, because I want y'all to look at them again. Just make sure you look at everything like that. I think for me, you look at the schedule for the Red Raiders, right? And you've got Colorado this Saturday, out in Colorado. Excuse me. I thought that game was in the 806. That is actually out in Boulder on Saturday. Then you come back home and you have the Utah teams come in. You play Utah Wednesday, and then Saturday night, a prime-time game against 2 potentially top 20 teams in BYU and Texas Tech before you head out to Baylor. You've got some time here with Colorado and Utah to get back on your feet, get to 3-1 if you are Texas Tech, and hopefully have a chance to knock off BYU and AJ Debanza, the star freshman for the Cougars, out in the 806 2 weeks from today. All right, that's going to do it for today's video recap. Appreciate y'all tuning in for it. And a lot of great basketball coming up, Texas Tech fans. I know this one was frustrating. I was frustrated too, but a lot of encouraging signs. You just got to get healthy to make sure these guys can actually, not be fatigued in the final couple minutes. Grant McCaslin and crew will get there. I promise you that. This team is very, very talented. And I think is Elite 8 good. Call me crazy. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech men's basketball all year long, whether it's happening on the hardwood, the portal, high school recruiting, or anything in between. We've got you covered right here on the largest, most interactive, and fastest growing group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube in the Red and Black Report. All right, I'm RC Maxfield reminding you, as always, stay safe and Wreck 'em Tech.